Alright, welcome back everyone. We'll begin starting in just a few minutes here. First, like always, a quick ad, then we'll get started. So I'll see everyone shortly. Alright, think we're good to go. The ads are about to stop. But, go ahead and get started. Alright, let us see. So, we want to go ahead and go to the port, set sail. We were at war with Sturgia, right? Yeah. And the Khuzaits. Alright. We want to finish taking Omar, probably, and then go for reinforcing over here. Because that'll cut them off from the land approach over here. At least somewhat. Hopefully I can take Omar for myself. And, you know, try and really set up our own region here of controlled towns. Alright. Let's begin setting sail. And I am definitely gonna have to try, like, a bit more siege defenses. We'll try and go for some extra ones if we can. I remember what happened last time. We got ambushed right outside Omar, I think. It was Omar or Varchig? It had been Varchig, that we had taken. And got ambushed outside of, and basically, we had to go regroup after we won through a lot of, shall we say, unsavory tactics. Ooh, speaking of defenses, we need to make a rush for Varchig. Um, okay. Okay. I don't believe we currently control Varchig. Alright, you never tire out. You're good at shooting targets. And you're quite vigorous. Alright, and you were trained by an artisan. But we taught you to go running. So get to it. Athletics is very important to get up quickly for them. Ooh, that's a hefty ransom. Eh. Nope. Not while we're pushing for victory here. I'm not sure we're going to get here in time to defend Varchig, so we may be on recapturing duty here. We'll see. Okay, we see siege already laid down. Declined. Let's see. This will get us in good graces with them, so we'll do this. This will get us a little bit better reputation in our own kingdom. Alright. Now, we're gonna make a new save here. Yeah, this is it. Go to make a siege save just in case things go awry. And honestly, I'm tempted to go break in here real quick. What's my current loadout looking like? Okay. I'm just trying to go through and find my axes here. Yo, Shadow, how's it going? Hopefully had a good Monday. Let's see. We take a large bag of our good throwing axes, we should be fine. In a larger bag, so we take that. Nice. Oh, well, not so nice on the bad Monday, but congrats on beating DS2's main game at least. Just got the DLC left. And hopefully, you can relax a bit more and have a better, at least, evening here. Dude, I love the Ivory King DLC. It is, honestly, like, just really fun to go through, in my opinion. Because you can either speedrun it very well, or you can actually take your time with it. Alright, we'll break in. Recruit from, well, the unwilling recruits. The loss of ranged hurts, but we can manage, hopefully. Yeah, it's even got... That's something I love about DS2. The unique weapons are very unique. But that pose you take if you use the L2, that's actually a direct reference to Star Wars Episode 4's box art. And, like, promotional art. Which is great. That weapon's a lot of fun, even if it's not necessarily the best. I would say, at least. Alright, we definitely need to really play into this defense here. Okay. Oh. Nope. There we go. Got a little stuck there. We need to make sure the battering ram goes first. Oh, come on. There we go, that's one direct hit. Probably only get one more, and then we'll have to deal with it with axes. Ooh. But we do get that very, very nice hit there on the infantry. Alright. Let's see if that's close enough to hit it with a throw. Technically it is. So we'll start doing that. We'll burn it with the pitch here. There we go. And time to start bombarding them here. I think they're about to try and pull one of my tactics. Of just chopping the gate down. Oh. There we are. Let's go ahead and get a few of them on the way out here.
Die, filth!
That was actually a really good defense. Alright. Let's go ahead and try for a long shot. And there we go. Nice! Another noble dead on the field of battle. Yeah, and it's about the outside of some of the
I choose to live
special
to fight another
bows,
day.
it's about the only pure physical one that's worth it.
I give up.
Now, great bows, on the other hand, are always worth it. That was a very successful first fight here. It's a little weird to see that, I guess because all the nobles got knocked out, I'm guessing. That they surrendered so quickly. But, yeah, it's... I will say, DS2 probably has the best balance of, like, crossbows being useful and bows actually being good still. Damage-wise. and not being just either used solely for cheesing or just not being very good. And fair enough. To each their own. I love the great bows in DS2. Especially the one from the Ivory King DLC. There'll be no butt kicking around here, Smurf, unless we're the ones doing it. How you doing, Smurf? We're just, taking some spoils here from a victorious siege that we fought off. I mean, yeah, bows are not great for bosses in general. That's just kind of a given in all the older Souls games. We are actually going to take that Lamellar. It's about time we upgraded for now, though. I do like the look of that. Maybe we upgrade someone else's armor and we stick with that nice gilded armor. Did you get another divine orb? Yeah, I like that more. Let's stick with that and we'll upgrade someone else's. Like his. He could use with an armor upgrade finally. Up to 20. Oh. Jeez. Well then. You've been getting very fortunate there, shall we say. Let's go ahead and I guess we can give you the Lamellar armor too. Smelter is actually just very resistant to a lot of things. It actually, funny enough, his armor is, I think, the tankiest armor in the game normally. But Smelter as a whole is just a very tanky boss. I think outside of Lightning. Let's go ahead and replace your arms here. Get you nice and armored up. We'll give Deersif here the... Oh, never mind. They're not better. I was thinking those would be better. Nope. We'll give the gold, or the bronze bracers to you. That's because rapiers are actually the best weapon in the game in DS2. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I love DS2's very overly massive great weapons. You know, how else would we have gotten the chicken wing? The finest of weapons that really needs to come to Night Rain because I need the chicken wing so I can throw it on Revenant and have her swing around something 3 times her size. Also to have something I can actually hit ranged enemies with Raider. And you can't forget the spin attack on it either. Alright, I think we've gotten roughly what we want out of this. We'll take a few of the enhanced pieces here. And so, just some of the weapons I know have decent materials in them. And the horses, we gotta rebuild our stock after Hardy challenged us with selling them all off for glue. Hey, Mabel. Alright. But no, honestly, I still feel like DS2 has the best, build setups that you can do. And it's sad that in Elden Ring, a lot of the stuff still didn't make a full comeback. But it's nice to see it going in the right direction, and hopefully, if we ever get, say, a Dark Souls 4 or something like that, we'll see a lot of those mechanics return even further. And also, Smurf, no one said you were. Don't feel pressured, like we assume that. We all like big weapons around here. It actually has the best exploration and the best end game because of the New Game Plus cycles. The thing that gets people is it's a slower paced game. And I think that's where a lot of people, if they've played DS3 and Elden Ring coming from, do not understand that to where it's not going to play as quick. And even from DS1, they have differences in like what is quick and what is slow, because quick weapons are very quick in not Elden Ring, DS1. But slow weapons are extremely slow. No, but we are buttering up the axe over here, she's about said Brian, Tofsky. I started to go with Baitovsky and then, like, default, oh, B, Brian. A little bit brain fried today, What is Brian's name now? The insult tier? Come now. Well, we're talking about DS2. It doesn't mean it's an insult at the same time. Fair enough. Hey, I'm just using the normal term for what, or the normal definition of name calling, right? Honestly, I didn't. I'm gonna have to replay Elden Ring. Because while I enjoyed it, I would not even say it beat DS2 or 3 for me, personally. I did not like the balance, to be honest, for a lot of the stuff, or the heavy focus in Ash of War. I mean, it's just copying Sekiro with movement, but otherwise it's Souls to the core. Alright. We're done with that there. Okay, that is up to date. Just checking that real quick. Let's go ahead and take this. How you doing, Tofsky? How has your Monday been, by the way? I I would recommend it. Um, while it's not my favorite, it is still a good game. I guess we can take the apprenticeship. We're gonna be sieging a lot, so that might actually. It's not a great perk, but neither of them are really great. I need to try Liza P. I've been kind of in the hankering for like different Souls likes other than Night Rain. I'm probably gonna like put Night Rain on the back foot a little bit at least for a while. And maybe pick like because I'm gonna be picking up some other games, but like we'll still play it every now and then, but not as much as I have been lately. Um, and funny enough, Shadow, the reason for that is Elden Ring was kind of a return to a lot of the concepts DS2 established. Um, After the initial, like, honestly, I wouldn't even call it fan backlash, but the initial shock that they got with DS2, which did well, but was not not as well critically received, I guess would be the best way of putting it. Um, I'm gonna rather than sorting through the inventory here, we're gonna just use this. Uh, I should actually use the inventory sorting tabs for once here. But, they kind of had a shock, and that's why DS3 is actually so close, more than likely, to DS1. And basically ignored a lot of the improvements that DS2 did. Funnily enough. Alright, we'll go ahead and trade those, give them some food here. Alright. Let's go hop back in our ship and prepare to siege. Actually, power stancing is also better still in DS2 than it is even in Elden Ring. Because you're not restricted to actually using the same weapon. Just similar enough weapons. And your power stance moveset is determined by the first weapon, basically. Go ahead and capture a noble while we're here. That was because it does not carry the same penalties that it does in Elden Ring. In Elden Ring, the power stance movesets only consume, I think, even more stamina, technically. But, also, it comes with the added penalty of, a much lower AR. I may have to boot up the DS2 randomizer and play through that. Have you seen how he uses it? It may be because he is one of those bosses that flies around with it. You know, it's a very dexterous weapon. In general, stat requirements are higher, but also you'll notice it is so much easier to level in DS2. That's why they were. I think the PvP level, for instance, that people eventually ended up sticking to was... You had some people stick at 120, but I think you had PvP metas even going up into the 200s because of how weapons were and everything, and how spells and that were. Funny enough, the durability part is actually a bit of a bug issue. Yo, Matthew. Oh, jeez. What? I don't know what we did there, or whose head we just popped with an axe that made that just stutter like crazy, but... For instance, your average spell requirements for the upper end spells are actually higher. I want to say there's some spells that can get upwards of
I'm worth more to you alive
60,
than
70 points needed. In total. In DS2. I'm trying to remember which ones those were. I know some of the sorceries are pretty high in requirements. Mainly, but I think there were even some like you had hexes as well. But as for melee weapons, you had things like the what's it called? The chicken wing, I forget its actual name. I think it's like Smelter Demon Hammer or something like that. Or Smelter Hammer or something. It's just referred to as the chicken wing. Did you end up pulling them or something, Matthew? Like, or having them get caught in something? Because that's, not gonna lie, a little worrying. Alright, let's go ahead and promote them to Woodsman. There we go. But there's a lot of extra requirements for, like, weapons or armor. Or dual wielding. That was another, actually, thing that increased the the requirement. So if you wanted to like dual wield, you had to have a lot more. That's still worrying. If that continues, I would definitely recommend getting that checked out. That can be an iffy sign sometimes. Especially since you said it's been going on for a couple days now. I would definitely keep an eye on that. Hope it's nothing, but you know, hope for the worst, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. About completely just reverse that phrase. Alright, we saved the village there. To the ship. But I want to say, like, the stat requirements, they're only matched in how much you need for some of them by stuff in Elden Ring. And Elden Ring has a lot more ways of boosting your level artificially, like through items and that. Which is why you don't see the PvP level jumping up as high by comparison. Also, Soul Memory kind of did mess with it a little bit with what people were willing to, like, play at as well. Yo, Smalls? Going good so far. A little tiring, but going good. Having some catching up to do from being sick for a couple days there. The other week. Oh, wait, I almost let him get by. No. May still outrun us here, but we'll at least try and catch him. Yeah, no, your ships are mine.
It's been a while.
Hopefully everyone can have, like, a nice rest of the week, and it's just Mondays being Mondays. I'm hoping, like, this week, turns out nice. Hope this year turns out nice, but, we'll see. Hope the move goes smoothly. And congrats, by the way, Smalls. Let's see. We can go and have them skirmish. We'll pick on that big ship. Just scoot right on by here. Just drift our ship around. Don't mind the leaning. We totally won't tip over onto them. There we go. We're pulling ahead here. Alright. Hey, no problem, Smalls. I know from personal experience from moving one too many times already. It's never a fun experience, but if it goes smoothly, it's always nice. Especially with like, moving with pets can be such a stressful scenario in some ways because you just don't know how they'll take it sometimes. Alright. Attempt boarding there. And let's go ahead and split some skulls with the axes here. Alright. There we go. We've got quite a few of them dealt with already on this boat. I think we should go ahead and move on to the other boarding if we can. On this. He's not firing quick enough. Nice, Matthew. What? have to. I've seen a few mods that have interested me in Fallout 4, but also I need to. I might have to get a mod list set up for Fallout New Vegas at some point. I've been kind of getting in the mood for trying out like because there's some new mods that have come out that have interested me, but also I just want to go and play like maybe Fallout New Vegas like Dust or something even, at least for a little bit. Still got to start Rogue Trader, obviously, which I'm pretty sure is going to be on Wednesday here, probably. There we go. Nice, easy victory. Absolutely slaughtered them there. Dark damage scales off of both faith and intelligence. Dark damage and I believe fire damage both, or like at least pyromancies do. Like a split scaling. Let's go with a few spear warriors. We do need some spear warriors mixed in for stopping cavalry a little bit easier. They are fun. Throwing weapons, they take a little bit to get going. With the inclusion of a sling, it's a little bit easier actually earlier on. For doing ranged. But they're very powerful. There's a reason why it takes so long. That's okay. You generally, there is something to know. You do want the stats relatively close together. If I'm not mistaken, there are some extra diminishing returns if you have lopsided stats. So like high in one, low in the other, basically, can maybe cause, you may notice like some slight differences in the actual power. No, throwing weapons are awesome. And they're definitely better with the DLC, because the Mariner tree has one that gives the shield penetration skill to axes, which is a huge bonus. Alright. That is my kind of army to see. That's a matching army on the high seas. Let's go ahead and say hey to them. After I level up here. But overall, that's not horrible. For you can cast most buffs, and buffs actually in that game go pretty high, or it goes off the AR, the weapon. I believe buffs, if I remember how they work in DS2, are a flat amount, and then a percentage of whatever your weapon did, in that elemental type. So, like, I want to say, what was it? Great Resonant Weapon? What was that? It was like 50 of a damage type and then 20% or something like that, maybe? The old school, like, Mountain Blade is still fun. I don't know. Throwing weapons, I remember being somewhat decent still, even in that. Maybe I just really liked them either way, but I remember them actually being pretty effective. Let's see, what do I need to upgrade here? Probably need to get one-handed up so I can actually, like, level that more. Let's make sure our troops are good to go. Definitely want some more shield biters. And some more woodsmen. More javelins. Alright.
I do not know your ship. Who are you?
You should know us. We've probably fought you. Alright, you know we're at war. You heard me. Give me your ship. It's my ship now. Let's see. I think we have one-handed axes in the form of our throwing axes. So we're actually good to go. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to get back in the mood for, like, Souls-likes again. Still got some other games I plan on mixing in. I still need to finish Ninja Gaiden as well. But I may have to do, I was thinking about it earlier today. I may have to do a second playthrough of Elden Ring. For the DLC. If you're struggling with money, yes. Otherwise, you always want to upgrade your troops. Or there's an alternative. Go and capture Sea Raiders. Sea Raiders are a very good, like, cheaper infantry option that is still heavily armored in Warband. That also do have throwing weapons, which gives them a little bit of added utility. But I always upgraded troops because money definitely wasn't that hard to come by once you got set up in Warband. Because of raiding and stuff like that being so profitable. Hey, look, I think we got someone on the ship here. I think we caught a tag-along there. Alright. Go ahead and reload this. Looks like they might be getting boarded, so we're going to want to start moving over and ram again here. Okay, that did actually. I was hoping it wouldn't hit so, or like, since he was kind of clipping through the ballista there. Alright. Furl the sails up. It's time for boarding. After we bombard them just a little bit more. Now let's go ahead. Alright, they boarded us. Good. Alright. Go ahead and deal with a few other reinforcements there too. And the ones sitting back throwing axes themselves. Alright. Swap our axe over. And let's go ahead and get the chopping here. That was a bit of a spike, but otherwise good. Let me back up. Thank you. We should be able to very easily hold this. Alright, you look like you're a high-tiered troop or noble. So let's try and take him out. The guy in armor there. Looks like we'll have to climb up here. Alright. There we go. We attack so quick with this one-handed axe that we can just kind of bully the guys who try and turn on us here. retreat. I didn't say you could leave. Alright. Oh, hey, look. There's still a few more free targets here. And there we go. Easy enough. Every now and then they do something a little bit odd, like trying to hitch a ride or diving off the ship en masse. Every now and then you get the classic spaghetti code moment. Let's see. Definitely want more of the crew here. That is a fitting name. That's another thing I need to. I think when we return to Battle Brothers here, I think I am gonna install that fantasy mod for it for what's it called Reforged to further make it like feel a little bit more fresh and different because it definitely had my interest. That actually reminded me of that. I'm trying to think. I'll have to take a quick look here. I think we may be getting a new strategy game coming out in the form of the Star Wars, the Star Wars, like, XCOM-like game. Let's go ahead and just take the... let's take them all, why not? We can always fit more ships. And always sell them off if I don't want them. Battle Brothers is actually low fantasy, funnily enough, in many ways. Well, yes, you have, like, fantasy creatures in that. You don't have wizards constantly, running around casting fireballs or the like. Or, lizard people walking around, just, chowing down on the nearest peasant. Yeah, let me look real quick and see when that Star Wars game is supposed to release. If it's got an actual release date. I know it's this year. Oh, what was the name? Hey, Artie! Okay, that one got me quite a bit, actually. How is your day going? Hopefully better than some of our Mondays here. Zero Company, that was it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. May not be this year. We'll see. Looks like there may have been a delay because it was supposed to be... Yeah, it's saying December 2026 here. I don't feel like that's right. Unless it got delayed. Because it was supposed to be, like... Last I saw early this year... Or earlier this year. Yes, they are Shadow. Both Fume Knight and, Surlon are in the same DLC. Surlon is just very well hidden if you don't explore. Yeah, that one, Total Warhammer 40k, I'm hoping it does well on console, because that actually has my interest. It is coming to console, right? I just want to double check that. Because I know the Total Warhammer series has traditionally been just a PC Let me double check. Just while I'm looking at stuff here. How you been, Hardy? Come on, kick back, relax. Watch it. Oh, it is. Nice, good. Thought so, but wanted to double check while I was just looking. Oh, nice. So, I'm hoping it does well and it, like, runs well in that. Alright. Let us see. You can go ahead and try and capture these guys. Well, oh, they did not like that. Holy crap, they booked it in the opposite direction there. Alright, we're gonna call an army here, actually. So we need to get on land here for a brief moment. Let's see. Wrong tab. There we go. Alright. We just need numbers here. We don't need anything fancy. But we'll grab him too. Why not? He's got a gold axe. Maybe we'll get to take that as battlefield spoils when he inevitably dies on us. Alright. And then we're going to go ahead and move over to try and siege the castle here in the meantime. That would definitely be a lot of fun. I am very curious how chapters are going to come into play as, like, an extra, like, thing you can kind of, use to influence, like, how your army plays. Yeah, it looks like the closest we can actually get with our ship is going to be over here, which is better that we land over here, probably. Well, maybe not even. Maybe we can't even land over here. It was looking like we could, maybe. Huh. Alright, well, never mind. Maybe we have to aim a little bit further in. Yeah, we would. Okay, so those mountains are impassable there. We could do with some pirates. Hold on. My pirate stock is getting a little bit low here.
Buddy!
Thank you for the follow, Shola Birdman. Welcome on in. Let's see, let's go ahead and have Deersif here level up in probably athletics here, since they're always fighting with us. It'd be good when they finally can get the extra, what's it called? The extra health and everything. Alright, you'll get better throwing. Alright. Hey guys, we, hold on, we have free rum. And mead. That's what these Sea Raiders want, right? As pay? There's also plenty of rating. And it doesn't look like we'll get them to join. Alright. So instead, we're just gonna have to walk from the beach here, probably. Let's see. We can capture some nobles, maybe. I'm hoping orcs are like one of the launch factions. Because that's definitely who I'll be playing. Almost certainly.
It's been a while.
Alright. We want to clean up noble parties as we kind of wait for our reinforcements here. So that we can at least try and have a relatively clean siege. we not have any cavalry? Like, among any of our people here? Not really, no, okay. Well. Let's do this. This will be a polearm group. We'll give control of it to our character's brother. That'll be good. Alright. Let's go ahead and have the infantry take up a shield wall formation and go ahead and move to engage. This group that is polearms will take scheme formation and move on the horsemen, try and bottle them up basically, and our archers will engage here. Okay. I'm guessing Chaos will be included later, but I'm surprised it's just the 4, in some ways. I would at least expect to see, Necrons, or Tyranids as, like, one of the extra, or, like, another faction included in there, just because of how much they've been pushing them lately. And with some of the stuff coming out. Let's see. Try and get the right angle here. There we go. The polearm infantrymen will tear him to pieces. Alright. Let's go ahead. Alright, broke her shield. And it's a little hard to throw on horseback. You know what? Let's go ahead and start the chopping here. We need to catch up our one-handed skills. Back here, you. There we go. Alright. Got a few new recruits here. Got plenty of people to upgrade. So let's do so. And there we go. Alright. Take the food, leave everything else. Since we're going to be sieging here, we will need the extra food, potentially. Definitely good to have either way. Aldari are the space elves, yes. Sorry, it took me a second to look back over there. At chat. Yeah, Aldari are basically space elves. They're the elf stand-in, essentially, and there are Norma Eldari and Dark Eldari. At least in the setting. I don't know how they're gonna handle, like, some of the split factions, like that in that, obviously. Let's see. Like the two... Actually, that wouldn't be bad. Giving experience for every melee kill we get is actually pretty good. Because that'll further speed up, like, the leveling process here. Alright, we can get just a few recruits here. Replace some of the numbers. And let's take this, while we wait for the rest of the reinforcements. Alright. Besiege the castle. We'll go ahead and get the ballista put down there. Just get it out of the way if nothing else. And we'll get the fire onagers made. Come on, Ballista, win that trade. Okay. You know what? Acceptable. Quite literally traded. I'll take that, I guess. That's actually kind of goofy that they just perfectly traded with each other. Alright. We do want to get some of the siege engines built. So we're not just having to climb the walls here. I'm hoping this army doesn't move in and just take control. Alright. Let's go ahead and put a treb down. Okay, good. They're not actually taking over for the siege here. Good. Let's go ahead and do that. And, you know, we'll cancel the trip here and we'll just use the onagers to hopefully bombard these. Alright. Come on. Want to make sure to replace any of them that get broken with a fire ballista. And then when we have siege superiority, let's move that back. Let's move that to the reserve. So we're not destroying the walls here. And we'll build 2 siege engines. Alright. There we go. That's another catapult destroyed. We get 1 siege tower. We'll probably just wait, or go as soon as we get the other siege tower here. And let the ballistas deal with that and lead the assault. I don't have a shield. I just realized I forgot to re-equip my shield here for the siege. Probably gonna catch a javelin to the face. Alright. That looks good. I guess we could wait for the siege tower here. We could go ahead and take control, if anything. Alright. Let us see. Kind of hard to see him from all the way back here with the ballista. Ballistas are definitely better defensively. Just because you can fire down and you have a very easy line of sight for multiple targets. Let's see here. Yeah. They're also just very inaccurate at long range like that. So we'll let the AI just take control of that. Well, they may be something of an undead hunter. I love the Forlorn. I feel like that was one of the better additions from Scholar the First Sin. Go bomb or torpedo a few battleships for us, Matthew. Make sure to avoid the torpedoes. Yeah, we'll just move up behind this. And we'll let our axe do the talking here in a moment. Just using this to block the arrows for me. As many times as it takes for you to get his full set. You know, you don't want to have him show up too little and not get his weapons and armor. Those weapons are some of the cooler looking ones too. I love the Forlorn like set and look. Or set and weapons. Sorry. Alright. Oh. No, do not want to be hitting my siege tower here. We'll go ahead and break a few of these shields here. Alright. Let's go ahead and open the gates. And let's lead the charge here. Alright. Just try and chop through as many as we can right now. There we go. We want to trim any of the sides that start to get a little bit bogged down, so our people can keep moving and like kind of pushing into where we surround them, or at least have even footing. Alright. Don't want to take too many hits, obviously. And go ahead and do that. Get a few hits, drop down, throw an axe. And that kind of trims that side up fully. You can go ahead and catch that. Alright. There we go. We've broken most of their morale here. Now we just gotta clean up. Alright. We'll go ahead and throw a few axes at the ones just sitting back there. After all, that's what the cowards deserve for sitting back rather than getting in the melee here. Alright. Let's go ahead and swap the axe over. Give a few chops again and clean this up. Any broken shield is basically a dead man there. And there we go. Not too bad. They're somewhat low. I don't think they're as low as Elden Ring gets for the Forlorn stuff, at least. But it's definitely not like a super high percentage. I don't remember the exact percentages right offhand. To be fair. Go ahead and cancel that, because I only need 2 troops here. Let's recruit you and you. Alright. We'll do a hired crossbowman. We'll do a few more brigands there to have more throwing weapons. Let's see. Take the banners. And with this castle being captured, hopefully we can give it to some new Nordling. Or a little Lordling here. We'll show mercy. But we'll give it to a Lordling, hopefully. And we'll be given the castle. At least that's the plan. Or not the castle, the town when we take Omar. Um, Definitely want you to have speed damage on foot for your troops. And there we go. Alright. Now to siege Omar. Alright, they actually have a lot of defenders, which is good too. And we have an army that looks like it's moving to kind of um try and help out with sieges. So let's go ahead and do this. Alright, we don't necessarily want to breach the walls because we'll have to defend this place afterwards. So, what we'll do is, we'll do Trebs first here. Because they'll be able to soak up some of the damage. Alright. And let's hope the army moves to assist us. Otherwise, we may have a bit of an awkward fight on our hands here. Go to make a save using our siege save. Yeah, the chances shouldn't be that low. It may take a few tries, but it shouldn't be anything like a 0.5%, like some of the weapon drops in Elden Ring are. It should just take a few invasions. It might even be guaranteed one for each invasion. I don't remember exactly right offhand. Alright, the other army is moving to help. Good. There we go. So, we probably need to break away from the siege soon and clear them out. Because that is a lot of people in the background there. Alright, they're all gonna try and get a shot in. Let's go ahead and move this to reserve. Let's start the fire ballista here. Let's also go ahead and reinforce our army's cohesion. Alright. Oh. You know what? I was just thinking we could cancel that build and put another one down, but why not just wait? Alright. That one's right about to finish here, so what we do is we put 2 more down. And there we go, we got our siege started here. Alright. We're gonna go with just siege towers. Because we'll just open the door. We're not gonna really worry about, breaching in after. Because we're building the siege towers, that's not gonna build for a bit. Let's go ahead and use this. I love when the AI is so scared to attack, they just let their city be sieged like this. Alright. Go ahead and get ballistas built. Move that to reserve. So we're not destroying the walls. And the ballistas are being built now. Alright. Let's see. Okay. Come on, siege. Pull through force. Okay, let's go ahead and put one more of these down. Or, we can put two more down. We'll put all our trebs down and just bombard this real quick, because we're about to have a large army here. We're not... Well, we are outnumbered, actually, quite a bit. But they're luckily waiting. As soon as we see them move in, we need to engage here, by the way. Right there. Lead the assault. This will hopefully prevent them from capturing anyone. And let us take the town here. We'll see. We shall see. Okay. Yeah, that all looks good. Alright. See if we can use the Treb here. And I do not know how to aim this thing whatsoever, by the way. So this will be a little bit touch and go, but we want to try and hit the what's it called? The ballista there. Let's see. A little low. Our siege towers are holding for now. Well, never mind. Okay, hopefully that second one holds. Alright. Come on, rock. Eh, close. Okay. So, slight adjustments. Just a little bit further up. And we should be hitting that ballista. Alright. A little bit more to the left. Looks like the siege tower is gonna hold. Barely. So we'll want to get over there in a moment. Alright. Come on. Let's see that siege tower make it. There we go. We also just got the zeroing down on that ballista. Crank it back. And let's take him out. Because that ballista is going to just sit here pelting people. As they come in with no restriction on its ammo. The others will run out of ammo as the siege happens. Okay, we need to pull it down just a tad bit. Let's go ahead and move with the siege tower here. It's about to start breaching the walls. And we'll go ahead and get in there. Oof. Yeah, definitely not hopping on that. I've learned my lesson about hopping on siege. I've learned better. Alright. But if we can help them break through here and get up on the wall and capture the wall, that'll be good. We're taking casualties. Not too many yet so far. Which is good. Go ahead and start flinging the axes. There we go. Alright. I moved to cover. Alright, we'll take him out instead. Let's go ahead and take these guys out here. Just get a few of their archers at least. Nice thing about Siege Shower is we're relatively covered here. I don't like the fact this is a ladder one. Because it slows down the flow of troops. Alright. Let's go ahead and see. We got clear line of sight, so time to start throwing here. Alright. Looks like we're getting some traction on the wall here. Alright, let's swap to the two-handed. Because we got people holding the wall. There we go. Alright. Come on. Oh. Okay, they're holding that. That's a bad fall. We gotta make this count. Okay. Looks like some of our troops, we lost enough troops that we need to wait for reinforcements to what happened. Shoot climbing down. Oops. To the front door. This will be better though, and we just cut off a lot of them. So now it's time to charge. There is no retreat. Not truly. Just repositioning. Because now what we do, we still have some troops here. We actually have the advantage in terms of troop power right now. Go ahead and deal with him. And I'm gonna start chopping away here. Looks like we got enough troops up there that they are pushing in. Somehow. And I'm just gonna start chopping this. As soon as we see reinforcements, they get ordered to come over here. There we go. And they'll slowly make their way over, and we'll get through the door here and finish breaching the courtyard. Alright. Because we delivered enough casualties that I'm not too worried about this. Currently at least. Alright. Just a little bit of a lull here while we let our axes do the talking on this fine wooden door. Yeah, hopefully we'll get some massive, like, defense sieges. I'm actually kind of hoping we get a massive defense siege after this, by the way. Kind of why I'm happy that that army showed up. I like being on the defense side. Alright. Not really resulting in that much higher damage if we try and do this extra speed here, rather than just holding the angle and swinging. Alright. Door's about done. And once the door is done, we're good to go. Because we really did take out a lot of them there. I think we dropped most of their army down because they all piled up on that siege tower when we broke it. Which kinda, you know, led to them just getting turned into mincemeat from all sides. Alright. Let's see. Is this any quicker? Not really. How much does our throwing axe do to the door? Respectable amount. We can throw a few here. It'll help speed things up. Give them much less time to reinforce it. Alright. And give the charge order. They're sturgeon, so their armor may be thick for a little bit, but it'll fall like the rest of them. Alright. We don't want to be in the front, actually. Just because I don't have a shield to cover my back any. And we're already low. So you want to kind of be in the second line trying to chop overhead. There we go. And we'll slowly break through here if we do this. This will also really quickly destroy shields with this axe here. Wish this bannerman would get out of the corner. He's kind of blocking our line of sight. Alright. There we go. Alright. We don't want to let a whole lot of them into the keep, is the problem here. Now. Alright, so swap the axes back. Oh, I have a feeling we're about to have to go to a keep fight, which I can't join into. And the AI, or the auto-resolve favors the AI defending normally. Which is why we want to keep them from getting in there in enough numbers. Come on! But it looks like we won't be able to prevent that. Alright. So let's just try and stop any more from getting in. For glory! Alright. Artie? You were getting these perfectly timed here where they're actually catching me off guard. I don't know if I've just... Yeah, they got to keep here. Which is unfortunate. We had a massive victory, though, numbers-wise, so this may be fine. We'll see. Oh. We have enough infantry. Hopefully this works. Come on. Looks like we're winning. They're not holding this keep from us. We'll just send in the waves. And there is Omar. Now let's get all our troops leveled up and ready for war here, because we're about to have the second wave show. The fact the New Game Plus actually changes Shadow. So you will actually see extra enemies. You will see, new enemies in some cases. Among other things. And potentially a few hidden surprises, shall we say. I'm not gonna spoil too much because some of those surprises, once you know about them, they're not so bad. Or, like, they're not a big deal, but they're really good changes. But yeah, it is the only one of the series to actually change up your New Game Plus experience from the base game. It's not just stat changes, which is what makes it so special in that respect. And honestly, that was the biggest disappointment that Elden Ring didn't carry over for me. Was no New Game Plus, like no new invaders, no new NPCs, nothing like that. No new enemy placements. That was actually a pretty big disappointment, I'm not gonna lie, for me in Elden Ring. Alright. Now they don't know what to do. Good. We're gonna stay here for just a moment. I'm not gonna reinforce our army with influence if I can help it. Because we're gonna let them disperse here. And hopefully get a siege to happen I should say if we get control of Omar. Otherwise, we'll set up for taking another city here. Um, all right. Let's go ahead. Let's do a vote. We will vote for peace with the Sturgians now that we've accomplished all of our war goals. Because we have other people to go to war with. Alright. This should be the new owner of Omar. Okay, we did not get it. Let me see. We don't have good relation with you. We don't have great with you. So yeah. We'll give it here. If this gets taken, we'll try and get it ourselves, obviously. The Northern Empires who declared war. Is that the Northern? Actually, hold on. Yeah, that's the Northern Empire. Always have to double check, because of, relative, map, location, basically. But, let's see. We'll reinforce this. Now that the vote has happened, let's get in our boats here and let's set sail. Army's decently injured. We could probably do with topping up on a few recruits if we can. I doubt we'll be able to catch the Sea Raiders, though. But who knows? Maybe if they are bad at sailing. Alright. 1,000 defenders is definitely going to be too much here. Looks like they're trying to retake what we just took. For the most part. So we're going to make the save here. And we're going to try make sure they don't take any ground in this. So one of the things we can do for that is we're going to go raid here to try and pull some of the aggro and hit them where it hurts in their wallets. Also, it'll hopefully get our roguery up enough that, you know, we can start recruiting bandits freely. Alright. Deck movement penalty is definitely what I'm going with there. Signed a trade agreement with Britannia. Are we going to Britannia or to war with them next, and we're just signing that to get a little bit of, like, you know, hey, we totally won't go to war with you. Right before, you know, plunging the dagger right in the back. Or I guess the axe in the back. Alright. We'll finish raiding up the settlements here, hopefully. Yeah, they're... Okay, so we need to move over here. It's probably going to be quicker if we just move on foot to reach there. We're probably going to have to break in and defend. But that's a sizable force. The Northern Empire does not pull punches with their garrisons, by the way. We're going to need some larger armies here to really keep them out. Because... Or to take their stuff. Because, like, right there, a 1,000-person garrison, I mean, it's doable, but it's not good odds. Alright, break in and help. Let's see, 74 troops, not too bad. Alright. Mainly infantry. Out of my troops, at least. No surprises there. I mainly have infantry. Alright, what are we dealing with here? Siege tower, a battering ram, and we've got decent siege ourselves. Okay. Go ahead and start that. Alright. Time for defense. Okay, let's see. Our Treb is over there. I'll be able to take care of the siege tower, obviously, myself. I'm just trying to think of... Yeah, we do need to hit the battering ram a lot here. Ooh, yeah, we do. We don't have a fire catapult. Alright, let's get the range here first. Alright, we need it relatively close. They've got just a normal catapult as well here. So that's not so bad, at least. that's going to take a lot of hits to actually deal with the battering ram. Definitely don't want to get hit still. Even though that is a normal catapult, the main reason I'm happy to see that is it's less likely to hit us. Ooh, that's a bad miss. Hey, Brian. How's your Monday been? How you doing? Alright. We can maybe get one more hit right here. Nah. Okay, I need to start throwing axes. I'm getting the right angle here. Alright. I didn't mean to get him. I meant to hit the battering ram, but that works. Alright. We've almost got it. A little bit more here. Come on. There we go. Alright. Yeah, how you doing, Brian? We're just doing a bit of defense here right now. But in general, a bit of sieging and such. Alright. Now to chop them up as they get on the wall. Actually, hold on. Hold on. We can get on this side here. Alright. Let's go ahead. And if we do this, it's a little easier to aim the chops here. Oh, that infantry guy moved in our way. There we go. Alright. Let's go ahead and kick them off here. Alright, come on. Can't let them aboard here. Right, aboard. Jeez, we're not at sea. We can't let them on the wall here for very long. Otherwise, they'll get little pockets and they'll eventually start breaking through. Ooh, that's a crown. Hold on. Is that a king? You guys know what we do to the initial kings, right? Chasen. That just maybe. But kings get neck-tight haircuts, shall we say. Alright. Go ahead and throw a few more axes here. Sabotage some shields. And some bannermen. Alright. Get our big axe back out. DS2 has 3 DLCs. Each you enter, obviously, in a very different location. If you're playing the Scholar of the First Sin edition, you need to find all 3 keys to enter the DLCs. 12. There we go. There we go. We got behind their shields there. Come on, get back out of the way. We'll hold these walls one way or the other here. Hopefully. We're starting to get pushed through because of our infantry kind of bogging us down. Alright. We stopped that one breach there. Just gotta make sure a few more don't get in. Alright. This will be a good victory for us. We will be taking out a massive army if we win this, by the way. So we'll be stopping their attempts to siege us in, or like just completely cold here. If we succeed. And it's looking like we should. We've got them in a bit of a blender here. Alright. And this brings back warband days of when there was no, like, ability to really siege with anything but ladders. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. It's just giving you options for what you want out of your summons, alright? DS2 is nice about that. They give you options on some bosses. You want, you know, the miracle casting summon, the big two-hander, the guy with 2 shields, you know. Who do you want? Alright. Definitely need to make sure those Monopolitans do not get up here. They will just chop right through troops if you're not careful. Alright. There we go. Looks like the other side's starting to struggle a little. Hey, you get down from there. You're not allowed up on the wall like that, alright? Okay. Keep chopping through them here. This is why you actually want a little bit shorter axe out of your two-handed axes in some cases for sieges. It can make it much easier to be able to swing through your troops. And keep the pressure up on them. I think we have our ship taker axe here, which should be good length for it. There we go. And they're fleeing. Perfect. We don't have a ballista, do we? No. But what we do have is our own 2 feet. Let's go chase them down. And sadly, actually, you know what? Thinking about it, in DS2, you actually could summon all, like, 3 summons there. And the NPC summons are actually not too terrible in DS2. So that's actually not always a bad option if you're unsure going in of what you're fighting. Alright. Break the last of their siege engines, and we win. So, we had 61 losses in total, 32 deaths, and 29 knockouts, versus their 212. You're just a noble. You're now my prisoner. Same to you. Same to you. I'm pretty sure you're from the Kuzite faction, actually, normally. Eh, maybe not with that helmet. I was going out the helmet, but I guess they do kind of share helmets sometimes. You're also the prisoner. I'm kind of keeping an eye out for... Oh, I don't think we got the king there. I was hoping we would capture the king. Potentially. Okay. Let's go ahead. Greater troops. We definitely need to go get more, what's it called? Jeez. We need to get more Sea Raiders. There we go. Warmth is just... It's such a good just travel or exploration spell. Especially since you can actually heal your summons as well with Warmth. It's a group heal. Also very good for fight clubs. To keep everyone topped up and keep things fair. Let's see. Oh yeah. Now, it's also useful for a bit of trolling. You may or may not be able to heal bosses with Warmth. And there may not have been a troll that some people did of using Warmth on Duke's Freya to make it literally impossible to kill. So, you know, double-edged sword. Alright, we'll take all those hogs. Let's take the beer, the fish, and the grain. We'll keep the grain on hand to feed the army. And we set off once again. Alright. We successfully defended the castle, though it is very weak right now, so it's probably going to get another siege targeting it. So what we're going to do is, rather than going around to get our ship, we're going to go through to Omar. And we will go ahead and go stop by one of our towns and pick up some pirates. After we, of course, capture this noble. It was a little too close to our settlements here. Well, I'm thinking about it. Northern Empire, Apis. It's not who just escaped, is it? Havana of the Nords. Havana? You really let their king escape? Come now. We can't have that. You've got to behead the king. How else are we gonna cut the head off the serpent? But literally, you know, just, don't mistake, we are calling them the serpent. Don't just behead some random person. Alright, let's call the fleet. Exactly! Serpent has, caused one too many issues for the kingdom, you know? He's got to pay for his crimes. Not the least which of being, raiding the local peasants for their year's supply of grain. I'm surprised. I'm surprised if you see a rebellion happen, you can't turn in local lords to that rebellion and have them immediately get executed by them. Dude, I hope the Krieg faction is in uh for that, like for Total Warhammer 40K. That'll be a lot of fun. If not, slightly uh bloody battles. Empire cities are one of those that stick around a lot. Uh or like they really do manage their loyalty with the basic policies they start with. Whereas like you look over there at the Kuzites or um the Aserai and a rebellion happens every other week. It feels like. I think that also part of the thing is they normally capture each other's fiefs, which makes it to where like they're still part of the same culture. Yeah, I know the pain Tovsky of just sitting there like waiting, hey, and going like, can a rebellion just happen here? I've got the forces, I'm just waiting for the opportunity. Well then. Honestly, the best way I've found to, kickstart the rebellion is buy up all the food in the settlement just constantly. Because that does actually affect the settlement. So, like... Ooh. 2 years for them to actually start rebelling. That's kind of crazy. If you were doing that, actually. I was looking to sell something. Oh, yeah, trade goods. I was going to offload some of our trade goods here so we're not so over-encumbered. I guess we're not over-encumbered, but I want to be a little bit quicker. So offload... Ooh, those are selling for a high price. Really? That's good to know. I didn't realize they had changed that. It makes sense. I mean, it was... Not gonna lie. It may have been old reliable. To get them to rebel like that. Also, the factions are notoriously bad about actually managing their cities, to be fair. Like, you'll have a hard time finding a NPC city that isn't rebelling. Or on the cusp of a rebelling. Because they don't know how to manage, what's it called? Loyalty at all. Actually, case in point. This city right here, it's already at half its loyalty, under the, like, NPC rule. We could probably restock. Let's just travel back to here. Because I also want to attack from the coastal side here. It'll be a little easier to park our ship here. That's very fortunate, Matthew. I love seeing that, especially when like you're trying to found your own kingdom and you need to capture a fief. It's always nice to see just a rebellion happen that's like, oh hey, like 5 guys decided to rebel. It's always useful. The other option is to keep an eye out for when a siege fails and everyone's already injured. And you just go, hey, so how about round 2 here? Well, you have 100 men manning the walls. And they're all the lowest recruits, and you have no nobles to guide them. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna head up to our garrison here. I need to put some more influence into our army, but we're gonna head up and recruit a few extra Sea Raiders out of our stocks. Alright, the Kuzites declare war on us. It's okay. Not great, but it's okay. We'll recruit the ranged units and leave the infantry for resupplying our infantry later. Also, I need to sell a lot of ships here. Actually, my vote is for Hunt right now, Tovsky. Hunt actually just got an update, and there's an event going on. I've actually been considering hopping on it. I wonder if they added it to where the crossplay is a little easier to like group up between PlayStation and Xbox, because I'm not gonna lie, I could go for some Hunt. Ah, okay. Hey, definitely the best way to play it, probably. It'll take a while. The biggest thing to master on Hunt is making proper use of the sound, because the sound is very strong for actually allowing you to gather information. And it happens, especially early on when you're just starting out. Let's see. Do we have any Sea Raiders in here? Yes, we do. Welcome aboard. Get on the ship. You can fit 90 or 192, so we'll take that. Solo is probably the best way to actually learn the game in some ways. Because while, yes, you're at a disadvantage, you also learn a lot of good habits by playing solo. I actually prefer playing solo in most cases. Though I'm not against playing in a group. You know, part of that's also just, you know, I don't have to get a group together. But, solo actually teaches you a lot of good habits in Hunt, for the most part. About, like, how to take engagements and stuff like that. Exactly. It'll also teach you the value of sound a lot. Making proper use of sound, like both your, like managing your own sound and, like tracking other players will be a lot easier to learn as a solo. Because you can obviously more easily control, like, you know, what noises you make. Which allows you to listen better and stuff like that. Alright, we'll do the artisan here. Yeah, artisan. And just athletics for you. Oh, and stewardship, nice. Oh yeah, the new... I forgot about that enemy being added as an actual, like, permanent thing after that event. Yeah, that one could be rough. Alright. We'll decline the ransoms. Yeah, we're good to go still. They're gonna be escaping, but it'll slow them down if we don't let them go. Yeah, that one you kind of have to be prepared for if you're gonna take it out. The real tricky part is if it bleeds you, it will stay aggro to you. Because they work like the meatheads do with poison, but for bleed. Which can make things very tricky, especially if someone's using dum-dum rounds. Uh... Definitely a weapon to not sleep on by Wojtowski that will be... It's a lot more reliable than you would think at first. Do not sleep on the Romero shotgun as a good, like, general kit weapon. It is actually the most consistent shotgun when you learn it, out of all of them. Which can, if you're looking for, like, a really reliable shotgun, overall is probably the best one. Uh, like, for, if you just want that solid one tap. Let's see. Should definitely level your stewardship up, because we're going to need some extra governors here. I should be checking the taverns for hires. Alright, their army's probably handling that. So while they're doing that, we'll capture the other castle again. So let's go to land. Yeah, they handled it. Perfect. Let's go to land and let's take the castle back. Alright. You know, I should have picked it up on PC. I was actually looking at it, being like, I should grab this just so I can play with more of the people I know. But I actually got distracted. I planned on taking one final look through the Steam sale, right at the end to see if anything new got added, and just completely forgot to. Okay, we actually need to back up. We don't want the garrison helping them for this fight. How do they... Okay, so they have a lot more archers. So we don't want to take that engagement right now.
Halt. Before we fight, I would know you.
You're trying to get me caught. I see your plan. It probably will work here, but... I have played a lot of Hunt on console. Not on PC. But, if we... Here, real quick. If we go over to... this right here, let's see. I don't know why it's showing 0 achievements. Yeah, I was about to say. May have a good amount of playtime in it. Just maybe. And that's actually on the re-release. There's more time on the original version, as well, to be fair, thinking about it now. Alright. Let's go ahead and set the archers to engage, and we'll just have everyone else charge here.
Attack! Footmen, hear me!
Because we really want them to just, make sure to take as much out as they can.
Warriors, charge!
There we go.
Warriors!
Have you guys form a shield wall, and that's good. Yeah, it's a very different kind of extraction shooter. I actually kind of prefer how it's set up. Hey, boom. Yep. Well, hopefully a happy Monday to you. Alright. We'll try and take out their cavalry if we can. Doesn't matter if we get the horses or the riders, as long as they're not on the horses. It's... Funny enough, it warmed up for us, like, right before Christmas, and now it's actually finally cooling back down again. Glad you guys are getting some of the warmth, though. You guys up north in Canada definitely deal with a little bit more of the cold than we do here. Alright. Oh wait, that's our horse there. It can be awkward trying to guess who's who. When you're riding around just trying to throw an axe. Well, nice for you to finally get some of that warm weather then. But Smurf is also loving that, thinking about it. If his region's also getting the warmer weather. Oh, that was a Botanian. That's why he had an axe. That makes sense. Okay. There goes the noble. And there he goes. Alright. Oh. Okay, let's go ahead and take the troops. At least what we can. Upgrade the rest. And that's good. But yeah, I have put, back to, like, you know, about Hunt. I have put a lot of hours in Hunt as a whole, Tofsky. So if you ever have any questions about stuff that you're not sure on, feel free to ask. Definitely need to pick it up on PC at some point, though. It's gonna suck having to restart from scratch, but at the same time, it'll be fun either way. Alright, if we can get them to follow us onto the sea, that'll be good. I actually much prefer fighting at sea. Obviously. I mean, we're Nords. We excel on the water. I was about to say, I don't know what they're doing there, but, hey. They're just giving us the wiggle there. Let's see if we can actually recruit a few more nobles to the cause here. Okay. Grab all we can. And let's see. Go ahead and raid this village. Try and get our roguery up while also, you know, ruining the castle's morale. Little by little. Alright. What, Hardy? We're only doing a little bit of raiding. And we're not going after you, we're going after the peasants here. What you banging on the stream for, Needs to be more bloodshed? Fine. We'll go take a castle for you, Hardy. Alright. We'll go take this castle, and then
Thank you,
we'll
AJK.
we'll try
ladies
and take one
gentlemen,
of
if you
theirs.
will, look right here.
Alright. We don't need our memory wiped, alright? We like our memory. Nothing bad happened yet. Actually, thinking about it, all the fights have been going very... I've been very good about actually picking proper fights to actually engage with it today. The right times, too, it seems like. You know, that just reminded me of something. I'm gonna have to post the song in the soundtrack in the Discord. That reminded me of a bit of music I heard from one of a game called Lisa the Painful. That was just hilarious to me because of just how out there it is. I'll have to find it and post it in Discord here. That game has an amazing soundtrack, by the way. I still need to play it at some point. But it's definitely an out there one sometimes. Alright. Let's go ahead and put the onagers down here. Alright. It's the king's army right there. Yes, it is. Hold on. Hold on. We have a king in need of capture. Alright, hey, have a good night, Artie. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. Nope. Hopefully the snow isn't too unpleasant for you. Alright. King is disorganized. Hold on. Let's help our cohesion here. Because I think that does slow us down. Their king's disorganized right now, which will slow them down a lot. He's not going to stay that way for long. But if we can corner him, this will be great. Looks like he might be going along the water. Come on. I want to capture their king. And also probably the worst run back in the Soul's history.
That's close enough. Who are you?
You know where, War, you heard me. You're not getting out of this so easily. Yeah, hopefully you get it first try, Shadow. Or you're prepared to make that whole trek again. You say that till one of the enemies casts Promised Walk of Peace. And you're walking at a snail's pace. Because if I remember right, one of the enemies in there does cast it. Ooh. Okay, if they engage us, we've got something nasty we can pull here. Definitely give preference to high-tier troops for this. Meanwhile, this one, I'm just setting this one up a little bit more. Give shield preference there. Alright.
Footmen!
Shield wall.
Now!
And we'll move them along. Actually, I want square
Make a
formation.
square! At them! Move!
And let's see.
Onwards! Forward!
We're gonna bog down this bridge here. Our archers. Loose formation.
Forward!
All along the back there.
Footmen,
The infantry
hear me!
here will stay in reserve right back here. And the cavalry will follow me.
Forward, Wedge! Stay close!
Alright. Oh, we actually can't cross? Ooh. That's even better, actually. That means their cavalry can't just stampede through or around. They have to go across this bridge. Of course, making it across the bridge is going to be kind of terrible here, but hey. Let's see if we can get the cavalry over here. Looks like they are moving to engage, though, which is good. Because that's exactly what we want. We want them to be over here. And to fight us on that bridge. Where we can kind of funnel them in, just to limit casualties. I know we have numbers, but... You know, want this to be as much of a victory as possible here. Alright. Go ahead and take out that cataphract rider's horse. Yeah, it looks like the cavalry are kind of stuck there. Alright. Yeah, it kind of twitched it last second and had the aim go off there, but hey. Alright. Keep trying to ride out and get their attention. May just have to move up on them. They may not be willing to really engage here because of the numbers disadvantage. No horses? Alright, Tofsky. It can be no horses. Sorry, I just noticed that if that was at the start of battle. Alright. Cavalry. Dismount. You can get the full set. You just gotta be lucky enough to. Alright, we'll take the shield wall and we'll go ahead and advance. Go ahead and have them close. Alright. We handle this like proper Nords on foot. This is indeed a horse-free zone. Let's make sure we enforce that for them too. I see a few horses over there. Oh, you do have the full set. Oh, do you not have the stats or the weight requirements to, like, wear it without, being over-encumbered? Okay, I also completely forgot the armor even had stat requirements in DS2. Thinking about it. It's been so long. Well, been so long since I actually focused on that. Hasn't been that long since I played, since I did do a bit of a randomizer recently. Alright. Let the axes fly here. Let all the axes fly, and let's target those horsemen. Alright. Nice part is, since, you know, Tolsky has cleared this a horse-free zone, we now know none of our people are the ones on horses. It's only there so we know exactly who we're swinging at. There we go. Alright. You don't get away. And down with the king. Ah, okay. I'm pretty sure some of the armors actually do have requirements thinking about it. From what I remember. Maybe not that armor specifically, but I think some of the heavier armors do actually have, like, at least minor requirements for... What was it, vitality? Okay. I was just, like, I'm sure some armors do. I just couldn't remember if that one did or not. Only remember that even because it actually makes it to where, like, you can't just go get Havels instantly and just throw it on. And use that to get around stuff. At least without getting a few levels, let's go ahead and take control. Man, we have a lot of nobles with us. Control one of these guys here. Alright. Deal with their crossbowmen here. There we go. Just turn this into a meat grinder. Alright. See if I remember the trick here. You can kind of turn your block to one side and then, like, just kind of tilt towards that side to help block some of the extra hits sometimes. We're a little too spread out there for that, though. But we survived in the end. And they did not. Yes. Also, I can't remember. There's some extra penalties. I think if you use an attack that costs, like, a lot of stamina and it would put you way past what you'd use, you also have to regenerate that stamina before you'll even, like, be able to use anymore. Or, like, be able to, like, try and attack again or something like that. And the swing will actually be slower if you don't have the stamina needed for it. Your animations for, like, your weapons will actually slow down and change slightly if you're, like, out of stamina. I don't believe it affects dodging in that way, but it does. Obviously, you have to wait till you have at least some stamina. Alright, we'll go ahead and restock our troops here. Hold on. I should at least take some of their naval troops and some of the crossbowmen here. Just to keep our troops replenished. And crossbows are actually good at sea. So there we go. Alright. Capacity exceeded. That's fine. We're not gonna care about that too much. Not right now. Alright, we'll take a few horses. Take some fish and grain to give out to the troops. And as is tradition for us, there are only two types of people that get their heads lopped off. Hold on. We'll be close-fisted here. Who? Oh! Parj... Or... Parvon. Alright. Who in my army took my capture? You.
Well, now.
There's something I'd like to discuss. I have a proposal. Give him to me. And we'll give you him. Okay, you don't want heavy crossbows? Fine. Give you some horses, too. What that? After all, we have no real need of horses. In fact, they're probably going to slow us down here, so you can also take some of these. Anything but Nanars. We don't want him getting any thoughts about how much he can ask of us. So we'll just give him the horses here. Plus, I've probably got a little too many. Yeah, you can take this pottery too while you're at it. And these tusks will get more soon. Alright. We're giving him a king's ransom in a way. Oh, those are basically of no value. Okay. Well, looks like we might have to give a few dinars. Unless you would like some axes? And also, how about more axes? There you go. Alright. Now, as is tradition, the king here tried capturing fiefs from our kingdom. He also caused mass casualties by declaring this war. So, off with his head. And that is that. We won't have to see his ugly mug again. Just have to deal with whoever his replacement is. Let's see. Aaron. Oh, he doesn't like me either. He's also very rich, actually. Oh, we can't have that. I think he's also got to go. Wait, you're... Oh, friends. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to... Oh, wait. Hold on. It says he was taken prisoner by us. Is he an Omar? Go to the keep. Go to the dungeon. He is. But we can't take him out of the dungeon because that's not our city. Dang it. Alright. Well, back to our ship we go, also. Hold on. You need to quit that. While it's technically not our settlement, we can't allow that. You gotta quit it. But first, let's go ahead and just assault the siege camp here. And put a stop to this siege. After all, we can't have them capturing that castle and then getting to Omar next. We can't give them a single foothold. Alright. Let's go ahead.
Arrows!
You guys will just engage right now so they move on their own and charge.
Troops! Attack!
Cavalry will charge them.
Soldiers! Charge!
They'll charge that cavalry.
Warriors! Archer!
And we'll move the archers manually here in a moment.
Spread out!
We'll probably put the archers, like, right here, actually. Alright. Put them right there. That'll give a good angle for them to fire on. Go ahead and deliver a few high-speed axes here. I always do that where, like, I try and adjust and just end up turning the axes so far down. There we go. When I get too close, or like they're about to ride by. Alright. There we go. Try and deliver a few more here. Oh, that was a friendly horse. Oh, hold on. I see a crown. Or at least a golden helmet. Where is he? There he is. It's a noble. Oops. Where'd he go? Where'd he run off to? Oh. Apparently we had a cataphract. There he is. There he is. Don't mind the friendly fire. It's very friendly, after all. It comes with the territory of, you know, throwing weapons. There we go. Sail an axe right over his head to sink into an archer here. And start chopping through them here. Alright. There we go. They're retreating. Can't let them regroup here. Okay, cut him down. Alright, these guys are going to engage. They're going to charge. We're victorious, but at the same time, they're still wanting to engage here. So let's humor them. Oh. They just want that javelin kill, I guess. kind of weird. We got victory somehow before they were even fully ready to retreat here. Surprised we didn't take him out. Oh well, we got victory. That's good enough. Alright. You're a prisoner now. Not big surprise. And let's see. Go ahead and grab some of their crossbowmen and some of their Coast Guard here. Take those Battanians. They shouldn't even be in that army. After all. So we gotta take them and re-educate them here. Take a few more Manavliatans. And we're good. Okay. Take a few of the horses. And otherwise, we're good to go. Alright. Just take some of the food and some of the grapes. Looks good. Alright. That was a nice victory there. Let's see. We'll now immediately go for the capture here. Oh, we got medicine 200. Ooh. Definitely going to want this. Physician of the People. That'll help with even keeping, like, the fodder recruits going. Which will be nice. Let's see. They're rating that, which is not bad in this case. Alright. They made peace with the Kuzites. That's acceptable for now. We can put all our efforts into stomping out the Empire here. Alright, go ahead and put our ballista up. Alright. Let's go ahead and get a few of these set up here. There we go. Our engineering is actually getting pretty good here, which is nice. Alright. Move that to reserve. Those are probably fire catapults and that too. Or at least they will be by the time we're ready to siege here. Alright. Go ahead and level everyone up real quick. There we go. Alright. And that'll be done in a moment. So let's go ahead and we'll put up 2 more here to complete at the same time. Literally the exact same time, which is perfect. And nice. We have siege supremacy here. We just need to get the ballista back. This one's probably about to get destroyed. Oh, no. It's not. Good. Okay. We can put... Yeah, actually, we'll do all three. We'll do all three siege implements. Since we can afford to here. That way we just swarm in. Oh, we even broke the wall. That's not great, actually. Let's move that to reserve then, since we broke the wall. And let's put that one in. And here we go. I should be healed up. Their defenses are weak. Let's go ahead and slaughter the lot of them. Alright. 4 crossbowmen there. Got taken out by their only catapult. Somehow. Alright. Let's see something. Nah, that is way too far. You are not. There are, if I'm correct, there's enough for every piece, or every smelter. It's an exact number, though. And there's a few hidden ones you have to go and find. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and flood in here. There we go, nice double chop there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's enough wedges exactly, as long as you get every single one of them for every one of those statues of ash. It just may take some exploration. I know there's a few that are like very out of the way that you normally don't get without looking up. Or that are easily missed. I mean, it rewards exploration. Alright. Go ahead and take out a few of their militia. Yeah, there's not actually, except for a few things locked behind New Game Plus, as long as, like, you don't miss anything, everything, for the most part, is obtainable. Like, there's not, like, real, except for questline rewards as well. Some of those are restricted to which side you pick. But otherwise, you can get basically everything, for the most part, in your first playthrough. Or in the same playthrough, I should say, even. We're just watching there in case anyone was, you know, able to get behind our troops here and try and sneak out. And since no one's trying, they're just trying to hold this point. We'll teach them what a bad idea that is. Of course. Alright, are we back? We good? Yeah, we're good. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. That's OBS being OBS. We should be good now, though. Alright. We got some roguery points, I noticed. Ooh. That's good. Some legendary bolts is nice. Oh. Alright. Was that enough roguery? Not quite. I was hoping it was just enough that we could start recruiting bandits, easily. And we'll give you a good day's rest. Let's see. We'll have you train up in the ways of the crossbow. I will give you some, intelligence here for your governing. Same with you. Good day's rest. And definitely want that first one for if we have her lead a party. All right. Let's see. Break skull. Living up to your name, I see, of breaking skulls there. All right. Looks like they were forming an army to, come deal with us. Sadly for them, they were not in time. Alright. Oh. We're gonna go ahead and call it for now, I think. I'm starting to get a headache again. I'm still recovering from being sick. I'm guessing. That's why I'm getting a headache. So we're gonna try and raid out here. Let's see who we've got online. The people we know. Or if you guys have a raid target, feel free to suggest it. Let's see. You know what? Let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and raid out to Liwa. They're doing a charity stream right now. For... looks like, open animal care... oh! For an animal care, charity stream, so, hey. Good cause. Alright, but let's go say to them. They're playing Night Rain, though. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. We'll probably be playing more of this. Or we'll start Rogue Trader. We'll see. But I will catch you guys later. Sorry to end early again. I'm starting to develop a headache, though. So best just call it there and hopefully not let this get too bad. But have a good night, everyone. Take it easy. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah. Hope you guys have a great rest of the night.